Star Wars fans. I am so excited because tomorrow, on Monday, they are going to finally be releasing the Last Jedi trailer, and I am so excited. I found out first thing this morning, and I literally just was like this little ball of joy rolling all over the floor and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I'll be doing my trailer reaction video as soon as I'm able to get a hold of it, most likely on Tuesday morning. So I'm so excited. So today is the day. Okay, I'm so excited. Oh, I have been waiting for this trailer the moment that The Force Awakens ended. If you are new to my channel and you haven't watched any of my other videos, then you should know that I was not a Star Wars fan going into seeing The Force Awakens. I didn't even know that the movie was a thing until 2 days before it hit theaters. So I didn't really have that experience that other Star Wars fans did with the hype train, the Star Wars hype train. So yeah, I'm so excited, and I'm really nervous because Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill have been trolling us Star Wars fans, saying to not watch the trailer if you want to go in with a clean experience. But it's so good. So I have been really torn about watching the trailer. I had actually vowed that I was going to abstain and was going to wait until I saw the movie in December, but I can't resist. I can't wait. I've been waiting too long. So I am nervous because I hope that the trailer isn't going to spoil too much. One of the great things about the Force Awakens trailer is that it really showed just enough without actually telling you what was going on, and it was perfect. I thought that they did a really good job with the teaser trailer as well for The Last Jedi. So I'm really hoping that they do the same thing for the official trailer. After the trailer, I'm not watching anything else. I'm going to avoid the promo commercials on TV and all of that stuff. This is it. Um, Also, if you're new to my channel, I am a Reylo shipper. So if I happen to see something Reylo-esque in the trailer, I'll be really excited, but I'll also be very disappointed because I don't like really want it to be spoiled in the trailer. I want it to be something that happens in the movie, and it's going to be one of those like what if mystery things. So yeah, that's like my biggest thing is I just don't want to see too much. But aside from that, like I don't really have a lot of expectations in terms of how the movie's going to look. I think the cinematography from what we've seen so far is really beautiful. But in terms of like the landscapes and the scenery, the costumes, I'm interested to see like how this movie's going to be different from The Force Awakens and its aesthetic, its tone. Um, oh, I just can't wait. This is really exciting. The countdown has officially begun. Okay, so it's nighttime and I look completely ratchet, but I don't give a shit because I just watched The Last Jedi trailer and I just want to cry right now because the Reylo fandom has been right this whole fucking time. I feel so. Wow. Okay, not only do we have like major Reylo going on in that trailer, but it was just absolutely beautiful. The cinematography, the action sequences. I felt like I was shown quite a bit. Like I was shown more than maybe like I wanted to be shown, but at the same time it left me feeling like okay, I still have no idea what's going to happen. Like it only showed so much. So like there's still so much mystery, like just the possibility of what Kylo Ren's going to show Rey. Like I just so I actually was going to film my reaction to me watching the trailer, but then me being a total goofball, I accidentally hit the stop button when I meant to press play for the trailer. And so basically, while I thought I was filming my reaction, I was actually not doing that at all. So yeah, now I'm just doing like this post reaction video and I'm gonna get into like an analysis and all that good stuff. Just as a nightcap to my fellow Reylo fam, all of you beautiful people, we have been in this together for so long. This is brought to you, this, you know, supposed to be reaction video, but not quite, was brought to you by Kylo, Rey, and their firstborn child. So, good night. Okay, so I am back. I just barely woke up. I did not get very much sleep last night because I was like so jazzed about the trailer and my adrenaline was just like humming throughout my whole body. So now that I've actually calmed down enough to like sort my thoughts, I've watched the trailer like 5 times now. So, what are my thoughts about the trailer? Okay, so the things that stood out to me the most, like when I first watched it, um, I was like expecting something very natural and kind of minimalistic. And surprisingly, it was like very grandiose and had really super good special effects. Like, probably more emphasis on the special effects and CGI than in The Force Awakens. But it looked beautiful. Like, like in one of the first shots with the AT-ATs, like, these AT-ATs are on steroids. Like, they are so much better than, I mean, AT-ATs in general are just really cool, so I can't really judge, but these ones look very majestic. And I was very overwhelmed by, in a good way, by the emphasis that they had on Kylo Ren and Rey's characters respectively. So they the trailer like drew a lot of similarities between their characters about how they're both kind of trying to find their way in this whole situation. I was really surprised with how much information they gave about Kylo Ren. Like, actually, I felt like Rey and Kylo Ren were presented as the two main characters through the trailer. The trailer opens with Kylo Ren, and I gotta say, with his new costume, his ass looks pretty nice. I had like a nice ass and legs view. I'm just going to, allow me to objectify him for a moment. He looked very nice. And one of the things that kind of threw me off guard, though, his scar, how he had like the band-aid or almost like the, um, I'm trying to think of like it almost like he almost had like that band-aid thing kind of covering like part of his scar, because at first I couldn't tell if that was his scar or if that was just something like covering his scar. I was like, wow, his scar looks a lot different than it did in the promo pictures, and I'm not really sure. It kind of looks like he has like a zipper across his face. I'm not sure that I totally like that. But then once I figured out that it was actually just something that was there while that part of his face healed, it actually made a lot of sense and had more continuity from The Force Awakens, because Rey's lightsaber took a pretty good chunk of that part of his face out. The opening sequences that focused on Kylo Ren and kind of his redemption and sort of his humanity, like there's that moment where he's in the silencer and you're led to believe that he's now faced with this decision of killing his mother, and he's really struggling with it. He knows that this is something that he has to do for Snoke in the First Order, but he almost can't bring himself to do it. Like, that was just the thought that it gave me. And just with all of the Reylo discussion and us talking about his humanity, and I really highly doubt that he'll end up killing Princess Leia. I think that will that will be like his first official defection from the First Order, where he ends up sparing his mother's life. And I think that this was sort of given away through a recent interview with Mark Hamill, where he talked about how The Force Awakens was going to be Han's movie. The Last Jedi would focus on Luke, and then Episode 9 would focus on Leia. But now that Carrie Fisher has passed away, now they're sort of restructuring the story and hoping to pay homage to her in um, in the last installment. So I was really surprised that they ended up showing kind of Kylo Ren's struggle and his humanity in the trailer. And then also, too, with his mask. In the teaser trailer, when it shows his mask that's completely destroyed and there appears to be glass surrounding it, I had hoped that Kylo Ren would be the one to destroy his mask. It would be really symbolic and would show that he's destroying this facade of Kylo Ren and is really starting to move more towards Ben Solo. And so when I saw that in the trailer, I was so floored, and it's amazing. I love how he just picks it up and he slams it into the wall. Like, he just smashes the crap out of it. So yeah, I'm like kind of scatterbrained because I just have so many thoughts about the trailer. But that was definitely a surprise for me, was just to see so much of an emphasis on Kylo Ren's humanity, seeing so much of Kylo Ren, as opposed to seeing more of Finn or seeing Kelly Marie Tran's new character or Poe. You know, some of those characters were not featured in the trailer as much. But Finn did have a really excellent moment going up against Captain Phasma. I loved it. It was just so beautiful, and it like looked amazing. I loved the special effects. Also, in the beginning, like when Snoke is talking, at first, like, I'm kind of confused about that, or it's something that is a kind of a mystery, because he could be speaking to Kylo Ren, and he also could be speaking to Rey. Like, when he said, "When I found you," it almost made me think of Rey a little bit. I could imagine Snoke finding Rey and seeing all of this potential in her, but then he somehow was involved in her being deserted on Jakku. But yeah, it just like really raised a lot of questions and kind of made it sort of mysterious because you're not really sure which one he's talking to. But I also liked it because it put both Rey and Kylo Ren on an equal playing ground where it could apply to either of them. And Rey and Kylo Ren are also portrayed as equals through Luke's line, which I loved so much when he said, like, it almost reminded me of something that would happen in a Shakespearean play where a character has an aside where he says, "I've seen this type of power before and it didn't scare me then, but now it does. But it does now." And where he's referring to Rey. So I loved how he's drawing so much attention to Rey's power, but he's also drawing attention to the fact that both Kylo Ren and Rey have very similar that their power and strength is very similar. One thing that did surprise me when we see that tiny glimpse of the cliff scene where Rey ends up jumping into the pool of water, and then when she emerges, in the background we see Luke. And it seems like I remember in the spoilers, the cliff scene included mainly Kylo Ren and Rey. And so what we see in the trailer doesn't really change much because Luke very possibly could have been included in that scene. But I'm actually really interested now to see what that scene is really about. Just because, I don't know, there's just such an air of mystery to it. But it was really exciting to get like that first glimpse of it. One scene that had me freaking out the most was at the very end when Rey is basically expressing to Kylo Ren that she is confused, she feels lost, and she needs help navigating her new powers and her identity with him. So then he offers his hand to her. My heart was like so happy. And then the look on his face when he offers his hand, it's almost like he's so hopeful and almost like half smiling. And it's like his expression is so open. It's like he's been waiting for her to ask for his help for all of this time. And now he finally has the opportunity to show her. And this is just me, but the fact that he offers his hand that way, like it reminds me of the way that men offer their hand to like their love interest in a lot of movies, whether that's in like Ever After, for example, where Prince Henry offers his hand to Danielle, or in Phantom of the Opera, when the Phantom offers his hand to Christine before pulling her through the mirror and over the threshold. Like, I feel like that moment is Rey's threshold moment, where she is moving forward in a new direction. Ooh, I actually was like really afraid to watch the trailer because I was not wanting it to show me too much. And I felt like in some ways the trailer did show a lot, but at the same time it showed it in a way where it really piqued my interest and it made that mystery, and it gave me this feeling that what we Reylo fam slash shippers have been talking about for the last 2 years, that everything is completely legit and valid, but that's just the beginning. The movie really is going to be the journey of all of these things that we've been talking about. So that's what got me so excited about the trailer. And I can't believe like how Reylo the trailer was. That was just insane to me. And it's been so funny because I've watched some trailer reaction videos from other people like who obviously are not a part of the Reylo fandom. And like the expression of shock on their face and like the blood draining from their features when, especially at that last part between Rey and Kylo Ren. And it's like, see, yeah, we were right this whole time. Yeah. I'm just I'm just like still buzzing with joy. Like I can't get the trailer out of my head, and I'm probably going to watch it like 1,000 more times before the movie comes out. And I'm not going to speculate too much on the meaning of everything and do like a super in-depth analysis, but those were kind of like uh my first impressions, or that was like my takeaway from watching it and like the meaning that I took from it. And overall, just the cinematography looks so beautiful. I can't wait to see Chewbacca and his little friend. He's so cute. And yeah, like it just looks like a very solid movie. And what is actually surprising too is that kind of going back to what I was saying about uh this trailer seeming to show a lot but also withholding a lot at the same time. Um it actually showed a lot less than The Force Awakens did in terms of like how many scenes it shows. Like it doesn't show you all that, it doesn't show you too many different scenes, but it kind of gives you an overall idea about like what the movie's going to be focusing on. And I thought that that was actually really cool. I showed it to my mom, and even she's not like a Star Wars fan really. She feels like it's a little too much, it's a little too much of flying through space and like pew pew pew. But it gave her goosebumps when the trailer ended. Like I actually felt her arm and it was like really prickly. So yeah, anyway, tell me what you thought of the trailer, and thank you so much for watching my little Reylo freak out over the trailer. So, yeah, have a great day. Bye.